Well, everybody, it's John back with Lake Erie Chestnuts, and I'm going to try my hand again this year at take 2 of apple grafting. I did the first episode of apple grafting last year, and we had about 60% success, and I would blame 39 of the 40% failure on me. I follow a person, I'll leave a link, that he's got years and years of experience. He does grafting for some of the major orchards. And he talks about how you get your rootstock going a little bit in some kind of 40 and 50 degree temperatures, maybe in your garage for a week or so after you get your rootstock, and then do your graft and leave it, put it back in the garage for another week or so, maybe even 2 weeks, and then you can plant them, or you can let them stay there as long as it stays cold enough, but then get them out into the place, their nursery bed, where they're going to grow for their first 1 or 2 years. One of the major failures that I had is that the rootstock, whenever it would try to put a branch out, I immediately knocked that nubbin off, trying to force all the energy to the graft. But what I should have done is let that side branch sprout until the graft got going really well, and then kill off the side branch. That's a learning point for me, because I actually killed some of the rootstock before it could get going with the actual graft. So I lost a good percentage of those just by me doing that. So what do I got here? I got some gloves. I've got the grafting machine. I do the actual grafting machine where I make the cuts with this rather than doing the old-fashioned kind. So if you like the old-fashioned kind, I don't know how to do those. I've tried them, and I had a little bit of success with that. Got a pair of Corona bypass shears. I got some extra grafting tape. I got some aluminum markers that I can write the name of the variety I have. I have some various Scionwood from both my farm and also some that I purchased. And we'll talk about the varieties later. I got a pen to write into this, and of course, I got a Coke Zero. So we'll get going with grafting. Year number 2. This year I chose the Antonovka standard rootstock, which will make me have to wait another year or two till I get fruit, from what I understand, but I'll get a full-size tree. These are going out to the farm, going to be feeding wildlife and a little bit me, but mainly wildlife. Last year I used the B118, the Budogovsky or Budnovsky. Anyway, MB or B118, that gives me about an 85% size tree. These are going to be the Antonovka. Also bought those from FEDCO Tree. I believe they're based out of Maine. These are the Antonovka rootstock, and I've put them in some Miracle-Gro potting mix for about a week, and now I'm going to pull them out. They won't have a whole lot of roots going, just a little bit. I can pull them directly out, and I'll get them all grafted up and be ready to go. Take our first tree out, see what it looks like. It's all wrapped up in some, got some good roots there. This is what the rootstock or the Scionwood looks like when you get it from FEDCO. It will be labeled. And I bought some gray Pearmain, some Northern Spy, and 20 ounce. Well, let's start with some Northern Spy. I've got 20 of these, so I'll be working on making a label. I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 Northern Spies. These are aluminum foil tags. You just write into them with your pen. So we'll do 3 of these. Then we'll get the Northern Spy here. And we'll get our grafting machine out. Oops, opened it the wrong way. And basically, pretty handy, 20 some bucks on Amazon. Has little nippers here, and then right here has the little piece that cuts, and that makes a U shape there. You kind of want it to be as even as possible. That's on the side, so now that makes that little U shape. Now I'm going to try to find a spot that matches real well here with this. It's not perfect anywhere, the diameter, but we'll do the best we can. We'll try to protect that and get it put in there as soon as possible. We'll start down low here. Now we made that. I had to make it a little uneven because it was uneven before. Now I'm going to fit this in, and I'm going to make sure at least one side fits perfect. But there's a little bit of difference of size. So you got to get one cambium layer to fit. That's going to be the side I choose. There's some tension on this. This will break through. The buds can break through if need be. Give it some strength. And there's graft number 1. So it says Northern Spy 2024. Just kind of loosely put that on there. Put her in the water. We'll dab it with a little bit of tar just for good measure. And just keep repeating. One, two. Yes, Ava? Look, I'm grafting. This is an apple, a Northern Spy. It's got 3 buds. See those little bumps? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put it to there. I cut these holes.
Why?
And they match up together. See that?
Yeah.
And that's going to make a whole new apple tree. And it'll be exactly like this tree. Nope, it's alive.
So why'd you put that on?
Because I don't want this type of tree. I want the qualities of this root, but I don't want this root. I want the qualities of this top tree.
Oh.
See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that little thin layer that looks greenish right on the edge? That's the area that's alive. That's called the cambium layer. And if I make that layer on one side, just one side of this has to match up with the cambium layer on this, then it'll make a union, a graft union, and it will survive.
Didn't you used to do these like years ago?
Just last year was the first year I did. And we have a bunch of trees out in the yard. Well, I'm at the end here. I've done 20 of these. I did a few Honeycrisp, a couple Honeycrisps. Did some from the trees that are out at the woods, the ones that were late droppers that had zillions of apples clear into January. I did the ones that are real big that are out there. I don't know the variety, but that's what I did. And then I did Northern Spy and the other ones that I talked about, Gray, Pearmain. And it's taken me about an hour. I'm going to get them put back in here. It's just slightly moist soil. We'll put them back out in the garage for about another week or 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then as we get a good weather day, when there's snow flying right now, good weather day here in early mid-April, I'll put them out in the garden, which is going to be their nursery for the next growing season. Get them growing, and I'm going to dig up the old ones and get ready to take those out to the farm to plant for this spring. So a little bit of trading these for them. Nice little Honeycrisp on a Antonovka standard rootstock. Should be fun to see those grow out. Anyway, hopefully you guys are able to get something done here. I'm going to get things growing here pretty soon. You notice I'm here in the growing room and I don't have a whole lot of stuff going. I haven't started anything. I started way too early last year, and I'll be putting some English white oaks in here, some vegetables. I may start all of my chestnuts outdoors this year. We'll see. But anyway, Thanks for watching this episode. Hopefully you guys are out there growing some stuff. Remember, if you're not growing, you're dying. Thanks for watching. There they all are. Very lightly watered them. And they'll sit there and start to wake up as it warms up, but there's snow outside tonight.